Well, my grandmother was a good piano player. My mother was. My daughter plays the piano. My son is in music, and I have been in music since I can think of. But I just stopped it for a while, for a long time, really. And then I started about a year ago. I started really to have had this creative flow going where songs came into my mind. I started writing songs, and the first one I wrote was Memories.
Reflections on my past, playing funny tricks on me. And those times I remember, that's what I laid.
Memories was a bit like at the beginning of the world crisis, was that people started to remember things, how easy their life was before that time. And that's what the song is really a bit about, is how things can be easy sometimes. How you meet people, you know, kids get together, they're dancing in the streets, and it's hot in the summer, and you don't have to worry about anything. Mentally healthy. So far I've written about 8 songs, and I have now this amazing privilege that because of Franc, we can produce songs on a level, musically on a level, which you can only do if you have professionals like that together. And that makes it so unique.
When he played his song ideas for me, I was really pleasantly surprised, because reminded me of the music that I liked the best when I was young, and where I started off with, you know, music of the Doobie Brothers, James Taylor, Crosby, Stills and Nash. Right away I had the idea that I could probably help him to create what he had in mind, namely to come up with professional recordings and a possibility to play with a professional band. I have some wonderful musicians, people that I know for a very long time. Some surprises, you know, it's some beautiful things came out of that. So,
and the idea is really to just really have a good time, and hopefully people will have a good time if we play the music. And it's a German-Dutch cooperation, and we have German musicians in the band, and we have mainly Dutch, and it's a great atmosphere to work in this beautiful studio here in Baarn, in the Shamrock Studios. It's just a super fun project that we're doing, the Baarn Project.
Max came up with this name, and I really understand it. He's from Hamburg, and for him to work in the Netherlands on a project like this was great. And I chose the very first place. I chose Koen as an arranger. And together we thought, well, it would be nice to be, making use of a great studio in Baarn. And that was actually the first time that the 3 of us met at the studio of Holger. So for Max it was like, well, we should call this the Baarn Project. And for Koen and I, we know that, you know, Baarn and Hilversum, it's part of the Dutch legacy of recordings, music, everything comes from here, you could say.
So arranging is not just making up new versions of a song. It's also a little bit of casting, if I can put it like that. You know, you choose musicians of which you think they are perfect for a certain track. First songs he recorded were already quite good demos. And, you know, there's not just an acoustic guitar and a vocal line, but already some ideas about the grooves and the drums and the bass and the guitars, mainly. So I had already quite a good starting point.
The songs that I write have, one way or another, like probably most songwriters, songs they write have something to do with their lives. Things that you reflect on, certain things that that you remember from certain incidences in your life. And I just saw this wonderful documentary on the Eagles, and like Glenn Frey. He also said, yeah, all the songs I wrote are one way or another connected to my life. And that's exactly what happens here. So I write a song because my son is a surfer, and so I write a song called "Right on Time." When you hit the wave at the right time, you know how it is. You're surfing down the crest, and this is like the best feeling. So I wrote a song that's called "Right on Time," and we're going to produce this song here at the end of October. And another one, "The Taste of Fall," is a song which probably happened to all of us at some point in time. You have a relationship and it just hits off really nicely in the summer, and you think this is going to be a real thing, and then by the time the leaves are falling down,
we work from a quite broad perspective, but I guess I would just call it pop rock music.
No, it's definitely late 70s, early 80s music. The music of Max asks for serious guitar playing. And the songs are really good. We get these compliments all the time, actually. So everybody should listen for himself. But I think we have really great and interesting compositions that remind us, and probably also other people, of that era.
Don't you know how silly I felt? Don't you know how crazy I felt? Tell me, don't you know how silly I felt?
it's something that I always wanted to do. And because I didn't have the time, I lived in New York for a long time, I lived in London, and in some places in Europe, in Switzerland, and in Hamburg, Frankfurt, whatever, and I just didn't get to it. And I really didn't like it that time. I really wanted it, actually, and now I have the time to do it. I'm still working, but I also have the time to pursue this more intensively.
It's a taste of fall. Feels like the taste of fall. It's a taste of fall. It's a taste of fall.